All right, what is up, everybody? This is week 2 of our podcast, and we have a lot of stuff to cover. I know in the last video we said we were going to do a story about how we made like our first big chunk of money, but I don't think we'll have time for that, so we're going to save that for a day when we don't have a ton to talk about, because this whole past week has just been pretty packed. What do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the portfolio
let's start off with
update?
the portfolio update.
Okay.
I'll go first. I haven't made any new positions. I've actually.
One more thing. In the last video, we didn't even introduce our names. This is Jacob, and I'm Nick. We didn't even say our names in the last video, so
For anybody that cares. But back to what I was saying, my portfolio update. Haven't made really any new changes with my portfolio, so I still hold OKLO, HIMS, Hood, Rocket Lab, Ethereum, BMNR, FIG, and Circle. So FIG is the new one actually. FIG is a new IPO that IPO'd yesterday. I requested shares, I think $1,000 worth, but everybody on Robinhood got one share. But I can't complain because that one share was $33 when I got it, and now it is at $123. So free, $90 so far.
Yeah,
so
I think it peaked at 140.
150.
150.
Crazy. So I thought it was going to be the next Circle. It still could be. Still could at 200, but I only got one share. I wanted to buy more. I definitely could still buy more. It's at 123, but we're just gonna leave it and see what happens. If it moons, it moons, whatever. But and then I guess a little update is I sold 5 shares of Robinhood. Whoop-de-doo, I know, but it at least lowered my margin, so I'm not using as much margin. So I sold 5 shares of Robinhood on a red day, but there's a little bit of fear going on. We'll talk about that later. So Nick, your portfolio update if there's any.
For me, I bought D-Wave Quantum, and I bought that yesterday, 2 days ago, which was right before.
That's the
one
quantum computing
Yeah.
stock, right? I didn't know you bought that. It's
Yeah, right
a
before.
risk play there.
I bought it 2 days ago. I didn't buy a ton. I put $100 in just to
Okay.
get my feet in the water. But
Yeah, just to watch it closer.
But I bought it right before it dipped down, so I have to lower my cost average if the price continues to drop a little bit. I bought a little bit more of EPD because the deadline for dividends was yesterday, so I bought a few more shares before that deadline. And then I bought some more Tesla, I think yesterday and today, because it's been going down, and a little bit more Bitcoin as well. So few little buys here and there as the market goes down a little bit, but nothing too crazy.
Speaking on the market going down, today and yesterday have been the biggest red days we've seen in the past month. So a little on that, we got some major news from the market. It was like basically the Super Bowl for the stock market this week. It was crazy, lots of news, lots of earnings, and we're going to cover that here today in this podcast. So kind of the first headline I want to go over is obviously the Fed. So the Fed did decide to hold rates as expected, so to wait and see tone, and they also have another meeting in September, which I think right now there's like a 30 or 40% chance of rates being cut, but that obviously could change with inflation data coming out. I think there's 2 reports of inflation data coming out, so between now and September. So the Fed has no excuse for, let's wait and see. I mean, they're gonna have the data, so we'll see what they do. But
So did you have any stocks that reported earnings that you saw a big jump in?
I didn't have any, but Hood did report earnings, and they didn't perform as well because we had Meta and Microsoft absolutely blow earnings out of the water. So it kind of got put under the water a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't as recognized, or it wasn't in as many news articles.
I think I forgot to mention in the last video, I don't know how, but I forgot to mention that I do have Meta shares, and I have 6 of them, so not even that much, but it jumped up, $75 a share?
It was a 10% reaction, like
Yeah.
crazy.
So it was like a $400. I mean,
yeah, their earnings per share was $7 a share, and their revenue was $45 billion. I think their estimated earnings was like $3 or $5.
I don't know.
Either way, it's
Yeah.
like insane beat. So that's why that stock was the main headline, and some of these other stocks that did beat earnings went a little under the hood, and they didn't have as a big of a jump or a reaction the next day. So
I just wanted to cover that because I forgot to mention that in the first video, and then for me, I had a nice jump from all that. So wanted to cover that. And then I guess that kind of leads me into, I guess we could talk a little bit about Google, because I do plan on buying Google. I was thinking about getting some today, but the market already closed, so I might have to wait till Monday. But if the market continues to kind of go down this rocky road for a little bit, Google's price for their share
they're undervalued.
Is
yeah,
undervalued.
They're undervalued.
Yes, that's what I meant.
And they're one of the top 3 companies that are in this AI race. It's
Yeah.
Meta, it's Microsoft, and it's Google. Like those are the 3 companies that are in this AI race. It's kind of like a circular investment in each one. Like Meta and Google are buying all these chips from NVIDIA, and then NVIDIA is obviously buying all of like Meta's platforms and whatnot, all that.
Yeah,
But it's
so
kind of like a circular.
on top of that thing, I saw this graph they pulled up where it's Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Alphabet expected amount to spend on AI, and before it was at like 200 or 325 billion, and today it just came out that it's up to 364 billion. So they increased their budget like altogether 40 billion to spend on AI. So that shows that obviously they want to spend and focus a lot more on AI. Okay, Alphabet plans to spend 85 billion, which is on the higher end compared to the other companies.
And compared to Apple, it's like
yeah.
what's Apple
And
doing?
well, and I mean their stock price is just like lagging so much. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those better stocks to get into now because
Especially since like they were kind of overshadowed by like Microsoft and Meta with their crazy earnings and
Yeah.
their beat. So it's like
when I mean we'll just look at like Meta's stock for example too, or like
it's-
how much they've grown, and obviously like Alphabet's probably going to fall right along with it. It's just lagging for some reason. So I think I'm going to invest into it. Especially if this market is a little rocky for a little bit, I might start throwing some money into it next week. But I just wanted to cover that real quick. Is there anything you have written down you want to cover? I have a couple more things, but if you have something else.
Yeah, so we kind of just went over the big tech earnings and how Microsoft and Meta basically were the biggest gainers from that. But let's kind of get into the pullback from Thursday and today. We had the S&P 500 fell 1.6%, NASDAQ down 2.2%. Its worst stretch in months. So this market reversal is it's happening right in front of our eyes, and it could go down farther, or it could just be another tariff scare. And that's why it's dropping. It's because of this little tariff scare that we had back in April, and it's happening again with Trump bringing it back. So we'll see if it's all part of his plan.
Investors were kind of saying, like, I remember last week they were like, oh, like the market's looking super good, but then this week I started to hear a lot like, oh, it's pretty frothy.
Yeah,
this
just like
week.
a snap of a finger like that. It's like, what?
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
we
kind
can't
of
make up our
weird.
mind, but, I mean, with markets at all-time highs, I mean, I'm sure it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, but like, yeah, I guess it was the Trump tariff news that.
What was that other
snapped
news
down.
you just said before we started?
Job data.
Fired.
That was 2 hours ago. Trump fired the labor statistics guy, some guy in a good position, but he doesn't have a position anymore. He was supposedly messing with the data, and it was inaccurate data. The job data wasn't as good, which kind of makes sense with like this tariff news going on. Like obviously companies aren't going to be hiring as much if these tariff wars going on, and companies don't know how it's going to affect their overall growth and revenue. So it's like, it makes sense. So I don't know why Trump fired him, but he did.
Makes sense with all the investment in AI, especially if the AI is going to be taking people's jobs and being able to just do these day-to-day tasks that normal workers do.
With the acceleration of AI, it's getting crazy with how much AI can do and how fast it's going to replace
jobs.
Yeah, just the job market. But
Okay, we kind of covered everything I wrote down. The only last small headline that I kind of had written down was that Tesla, they had a lawsuit for a crash in 2019 that went through, that they have to pay $240 million on.
no, yeah,
But-
that's like pennies to them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was the only other little.
It's not a
headline.
good look for. I'm guessing it might have probably been 2019.
But it just went through like today.
Yeah.
Because I saw that
a car crash. Maybe
It was a
something to do with the
car crash at
RV.
an airport. It said.
Oh.
So I don't know. I didn't read too much into it, but yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's basically it. I mean, big tech earnings were great. I think the market is just we're coming off all-time highs and then we have that drawback because of the tariff news. But I think in the long run, in the next month, I think we recover. I think we recover based off of these great earnings. If earnings were like shaky and like some of these big tech
all the
companies
earnings
missed,
were good.
or maybe even just like a couple of them missed.
Mhm.
Shit would look scary, but like
All the earnings.
everything
were
was
good.
beat. So
Yeah.
I'm not too worried, and I guess we'll just have to wait till September. We have another catalyst if they do decide to cut rates. Holy shit! I mean, the market's gonna explode if they cut rates. If they don't, we could definitely be seeing some blood. So
What is gonna be your plan for if it continues to go down a little bit? Are you gonna start buying a lot more, or if it recovers quickly, are you still gonna buy?
I think I want to sell. I want to sell a little more than I did today. I think I wish I would have sold a little more today. Even though it's a red day, that's probably why I didn't. But I mean, when you have those red days, it just makes you just rethink your positions. You're like, okay, a red day can happen.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Forgot what a red day is.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, I'm down 6% today on my portfolio, $600. So it's.
So what if it continues to go red?
If
Are
it,
you gonna
if it
keep
continues
selling,
to go
or-
red, if Monday comes along and we have some news, well, I'm guessing we're gonna have news with tariffs this weekend. If not, market will probably stay where it's at. But if it does go red, I'm probably going to hold my positions, and I should have some more buying power coming in. And I'm not gonna say by Monday, but I know next
Within like a
couple
week or
weeks
so, yeah.
I'm gonna have some buying power. So we'll just have to wait and see. I would probably realistically want to get in before September. If I'm going to buy more, I want to get in before September. Oh, that reminds me. August and September are historically one of the
Best.
2 worst months.
Worse?
Yeah, in the stock market
Okay.
in history. So we'll keep an eye out on that as well. But I think August is going to be red. I do think that. And then September comes around, and we'll see if the Fed decides to cut rates, and that's going to have us recover from this red August month, I think. So that's my prediction. We'll see if I'm right. But yeah, basically,
My plans are to never sell. I mean, I don't like to sell anything. Once I buy something, I'm pretty satisfied with it. Like, I don't impulsively buy. If anything, if some stock drops, I just cost average it down. I don't have like a ton of random stocks that I don't really like know about or anything. So I think I'm not gonna sell anything. I didn't sell anything today. I bought more today, and then if prices keep going down, I'll just keep buying more and more. I'm not really looking at any other positions. I'll just add to the ones that I currently have. The only other one thing I do want to mention quick is that I transferred my Robinhood into Robinhood Gold, and I think you did that too.
About the Robinhood Gold.
Yep. So we both did that this week. So I set up the Roth IRA because you get the 3% match with that, and I plan on taking my SCHD, which is my main, like one of my main dividend stocks, selling it and then putting that into my Roth IRA. So then it's tax free because I don't plan on selling that ever. So might as well get like the tax cut off on that. So that's the only other kind of shift I'm gonna do. I know I just said I don't sell any stocks, but I don't think you can't transfer them into a Roth IRA, right? You have to put the money in.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So.
yeah. I don't think you can do that. So I'm gonna sell that stock and put it into the Roth IRA.
And I also plan on moving my savings account from Wells Fargo, where I get no interest, into
Yeah.
Robinhood. Since I have Robinhood Gold now, I can just throw all that money in as buying power, and I will get, I believe, 4 or 5% interest,
4%.
4% interest on that
APY.
uninvested cash. So that's what I plan on doing with my money once it comes
Free
in
money.
from TikTok. So
Yep.
it's gonna be a little tempting not to use that buying power, but
I know.
especially if things go south. But we'll have to wait.
We'll see. I think that's gonna be it. I think this is a little bit shorter than the last week's, but I think there was a lot more substance and a lot more of an interesting topics to talk about. But we'll try to do another one next week. We'll get some more topics and keep you guys updated. Anything else you want to say?
No, I think we're good.
All right, that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you next
Peace.
video. Peace.